Market Analysis Part 1, Understanding the Environment. Now you have watched clips about market size, the current and future, and you have looked into clips about market trends and the pest analysis. So now I will take you through in this clip market growth rates, industry cost structure and distribution channels and key success factors. And remember that we are still describing the market as a whole. We're not focusing on your company's position just yet. Nor will we do that in the next clip either, when we'll look at market profitability and 5 forces. So here's the agenda for this clip. We begin with market growth rate. Here's a picture to illustrate it. Well, how do you forecast or guess the market growth rate? Well, you can extrapolate historical data into the future if you want to. Well, this method may provide a first order estimate. It does not predict important turning points, so it doesn't encapture that. A better method could be to study growth drivers such as demographic information and sales growth and complementary products. Such drivers serve as leading indicators that are more accurate than simply extrapolating historical data. Important inflection points in the market growth rate sometimes can be predicted by constructing a product diffusion curve of a similar project. The shape of the curve can be estimated by studying the characteristics of the adoption rate of similar products in the past. Ultimately, the maturity and decline stages of the product life cycle will be researched. Some leading indicators of the decline phase include price pressure caused by competition, a decrease in brand loyalty, the emergence of substitute products, market saturation, and the lack of growth drivers. So, in other words, you can study the market phase in the S-curve. Where are we at now? And this S-curve relates to the S-curves that we saw in the innovation lecture. When a market is mature, it could be that the innovation that revolves around the market is also in some kind of mature phase. There's not a lot of innovation going on, and you can see what's happening through that kind of analysis. Next, industry cost structure. What is that? Well, the cost structure is important for identifying key factors for success. You can use Porter's value chain model for determining where value is added and for isolating the costs. Here we have that model, Porter's value chain. First we have inbound logistic, the receiving and warehousing of raw materials and their distribution to manufacturing as they are required. Then we have operations, the process of transforming input into finished products and services. Then we have outbound logistics, the warehousing and distribution of finished goods. Then we have marketing and sales, the identification of customer needs and the generation of sales. Then we have service, the support of customers after the product and service are sold to them. And then we have surrounding this some kind of firm infrastructure, some kind of control system, company culture, organizational structure. Then we have human resources, that is HR, human resources management. Employee recruiting, hiring, training, development and compensation. Then we have technology development, technologies to support the value creating activities that we have here. And then we have procurement, purchasing inputs such as material supplies and equipment. So it's good to consider, how does this look in general in the industry? How do people go about to structure this? Then we move on to distribution channels and look at the existing distribution channels. How do people get their goods or services to their clients or consumers right now in the industry. Are there any trends and emerging channels existing? And again, this is for the market as a whole. And here are some ways that you could distribute your goods. If you're a producer of something here, you could go directly to the consumer, you could go through a retailer, or you could go through a wholesaler that then sells to the retailer and then to the consumer. You could have some kind of distributor and then a retailer, consumer. It might not be a consumer here, it could be a client, a firm for all of this actually. Or you could have an agent or a broker here, and then some kind of wholesaler or distributor, and then a retailer and a consumer or client firm. And of course, all of these units in between will require some kind of compensation. But they might also give you more than you think that you lose by paying them. So that is could be good to go through one of these if you do not have the network required or anything like that. And again, you look at what's going on right now at the market, not what you are about to do. By analyzing what's going on the market, you might find ideas to how you are going to do it. But for now, you're analyzing what's already going on the market. Key success factors. And here are some examples of what such factors could include. It could be access to essential unique resources. And I would guess within raw material markets, that is a key success factor. You need access to raw material. Or there's abundance of the particular raw material, so it's not a key success factor. But look at the market and determine what do firms need in order to succeed here. Are there any specific resources? It can also be ability to achieve economics of scale. Is it possible to scale this production up? Can you produce lots and lots of this in some kind of efficient manner? Is that a key success factor? It doesn't have to be, but it could be. Look at what's going on the market. Is it access to certain distribution channels that's important? Or is it some kind of technological progress? You need to be able to develop things in a certain way. It is important to consider that these key success factors, it could be others, these are just examples, but they may evolve and change over time, especially as the product progresses through its life cycle.